Welcome to this evening session of MSBM Masters Talk. Today we'll be focusing on the MSc Marketing and Data Analytics course. And I just want to welcome those of you who we consider future family to MSBM, because I know all of you will be signing up for this course and go beyond your interest. And we want to welcome you to our session this evening. Welcome to our future members of our MSBM family. We want to thank you for taking the time out to join us this evening. Wherever you are, even if some of you are still on your way home or in between running errands, we want to thank you for your time. Also want to welcome MSBM staff members that are on, including the unit head, Mr. Stanford Moore, as well as other program coordinators, specifically Ms. Nadia Tracy, who is a program coordinator for this particular course, and other members of the faculty, as well as other MSBM staff members. So this evening, we aim to give you as much insight into the MSc Marketing and Data Analytics course as we can. We'll also facilitate your question and answer. We ask, however, that you use the Q&A feature for Zoom to post your questions, and they will be responded to in that forum, but also just so that everyone gets an idea of the sort of information that is being requested, we will read those questions out as well as a response when it is possible. We also ask that you listen keenly, because there are some changes to the course, which of course you'll get an update on when Mr. Moore does his presentation. And feel free to ask your questions, because this is where you get an opportunity to learn everything that you want to learn. If it's even about anything to do with tuition, we have our Director of Finance here online as well, who can assist. All right, so we're going to get started, and I am going to now welcome Mr. Stanford Moore to begin the presentation.
In the meantime, welcome everyone to this session. Very sorry. What's happening here? Come off of that. Yes. Let us start. Welcome everyone to this information session on one of the MSBM Masters program. And I intend to, as was said, take you through this session, letting you know more about the program and how you can participate for the next 2 years. You can start as early as you can and participate for the next 2 years. Well, as was said to you before, this is the Master of Science in Marketing and Data Analytics, right? This program really targets graduates from various disciplines, but specifically business and management and other related disciplines. Okay, we tend to provide you, the participants, with strong grounding with various tools, analytical tools, to allow you to flourish in this information-driven environment. Okay, and especially for marketers, we'll allow you to strengthen your business practices by focusing your time, energy, and resources on the right products and customer. Okay, we know that you'll benefit quite a lot from this program. Okay, you'll, as it said before, understand more about your products and customers. Hence, you will be able to make better decisions and how you can manage those areas. Analyze marketing decision using the basic business statistics and forecasting tools and marketing research tool. And you'll apply various techniques along with those to help you do better in business. The program itself, the structure of this program. The program commences normally in September every year. And it is said on screen that we have 11 core courses. I would say 12 because there's no option that you can drop out anything. You have 11 core courses and a field project with total in all 36 credits for you to complete in 2 years. Note that we said 2 years because you'll have no summers. Your summers will all be taken from you so you can have total focus on the courses that is taught over that period. The courses, we have a list here, a number of courses. And if you look right from the top here, where we have marketing for managers, right down to the areas where we have the digital marketing analytics, this is what is covered in your first part of the program, after which you'd go on to cover marketing strategy and product policy down to your final project. Very interesting course when you get into the program. And I dare say you will enjoy these courses. Now, one of the main things on this program is your final project. The last thing you will cover over the 2 years. Here, you'll synthesize all these concepts that you have taught from the 11 courses. And then you will be twin with a local organization, and it's really hands-on for you to either identify projects or design various projects to get this real-world experience. So when you leave this program, you will already have some hands-on experience with the tools that you were given. Duration of this program. The program, again, I said it's a 2-year program, 12 months, okay? It's mainly Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The delivery mode, can tell you right now, it's hybrid, where it's sometimes face-to-face, sometimes online. This will be spelled out to you when you get into the program. How you'll get into the program. Here, the requirements to enter is really a bachelor's degree. Again, we say that it's mainly in the business and management area, but other disciplines will also be looked at. Your GPA out of a total of 4 should be at least minimum 2.5. Okay? Consideration may be given to mature students. That is students who have years of experience in the field. Let's look at the requirements again. GPA, at least 2.5 out of 4. Have at least 2 years working experience in marketing or the related areas. Or you can also enter with the area based on some professional qualification that you might have attained while working. Okay. This would have to be twinned with interviewing sessions that we at the MSBM will conduct. The process to enter, it's fully online. Okay, it's fully online. So you'd go to the MSBM website and you can start your application right now. And it goes up till the 31st of March. All the documents, including the supporting documents, we expect to get it online. Okay? And we will communicate to you also online as soon as the decision is made. Okay, this is just, let's say again, a very short presentation. We could take your questions and answer, and we'll provide your answer, hopefully, to what you might be interested in. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Moore. So very quick presentation. I'm very sure some of you were expecting something very long, but we try to make sure we make things as concise and clear as possible whenever we're giving information. And we hope that was done just now. We now open the floor for questions. I see 3 questions in the chat so far, and so I am going to just read them out. Again, we ask anyone that's online from the MSBM team, once you're able to answer or assist with these queries, that you do so. First question comes from Candice. She says, good evening. What is the process in place for a deferred student as it relates to paying commitment fee? I was accepted last year and indicated I will take up the offer this year. Perhaps someone from the team would like to respond to that query, not necessarily in the Q&A, but live.
Good evening, this is Merlin Reed. If this person who's asking the question, if you had made your deposit last year, the $20,000, and you deferred as you indicated, we would have be holding that $20,000 for you on your account. What you should have done last year is sent us your receipt to confirm that you have made that payment, and we should be having it on your account, and it can be applied to this year's account. If, however, the payment was made to the University of the West Indies, the same process should be applied, in that you advise us by way of your receipt, so we can do the verification and confirm that that amount of money is deposited and holding for you. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you so much, Ms. Reed. Candice, I hope you got the answer to your query. Next question comes from Shamisha. With respect to admission, what if I'm not meeting the undergraduate GPA requirement, however, I completed a postgraduate diploma?
Hi, good evening. So I'll take this one. So Shamisha, if you're not meeting the GPA when you're submitting your application, then make sure to upload any documents that will help your application. So like you said, you have the postgraduate diploma, be sure to upload a documentation of that as well as if you have any other certifications, you can also upload those because the persons who are reviewing your application will also look at those documents. Camille, before you move on, Candice, I think she had her hand up, Candice Palmer, who asked the first question.
Sure. Okay, Candice, you can open your mic and ask a question.
More, I think our question was answered before.
Okay, possibly. All right. Next question. Our Sunday class is mandatory.
Right, yes. So at this time, we only have classes on Sundays. So that's the only day that we have classes for this particular program, the MSc in Marketing and Data Analytics.
And the next question, will the classes require face-to-face every semester or just for certain semesters?
So this program is actually hybrid delivery. So some classes will be online and some classes will be face-to-face. There, for example, for the upcoming semester, which is our summer term, those two classes will be online for the first year. We actually have for a second year now in this semester, they're doing their 2 courses and those are also fully online. So it depends on the course. Some courses will be face-to-face while others will be online.
All right, I'm gonna just go to Reshma's question quickly because you mentioned online. She says, hello, Guyanese student here. My only concern is the hybrid delivery as I can only complete this course on an online format. Would you guys be offering this?
Right. So
reiterating what you just said, Nadia.
right, Rishma. So some classes will be face-to-face and some classes will be online. So you would have to plan, if it is that you're planning to come to Jamaica and stay in Guyana for some of the time, you would have to plan around the schedule of the program because some classes will have to be face-to-face.
I think that also she would have to plan around the exam period, especially because our exams are face-to-face.
Right.
Delivery will be online. The examinations are face-to-face.
Is it possible to start in the summer semester? And also, another question, I currently work full-time. Our class is offered after work hours.
So we start in September each year. So we don't start in the summer term. You would actually be at a disadvantage. Well, we don't allow it. And you would also be at a disadvantage because there are certain courses that would be offered in September that would help you for the other courses that you'll be doing in the future semesters. Now, as for classes being offered after work hours, classes are only offered on Sundays. So you have classes, you'll be doing 2 classes, one starting at 10 o'clock for 3 hours, so it's 10 to 1, and then the other class would start at 2 p.m. and end at 5.
Now the question is, what would this look like?
Will you say that again, please?
The question is, are there any payment plan options and what would this look like? Ms.
Okay.
Reed, you want to take this on?
Okay, thanks, Camille. So for the payment plan, we currently have schedule of payment, how you can make your payment over the life of your program. You can either pay your fees, your full fees upfront, we will collect it if you have it. If you can also pay per annum, so at the beginning of each year you pay, or you can pay by semester at the beginning of each semester. If at the beginning of a semester, you do not have the full semester fee and you want to engage in a payment plan, what we ask you to indicate in writing that you wish to take up the 3-month payment plan, which means your tuition fee will be paid over the first 3 months of your semester. So you start the program in September, you would pay a third of the semester fee in semester, another third in September, sorry, another third in October, and the final amount in November. But that you have to put in writing at the beginning of your program. Why? Because when you advise us in writing that you are taking up the opportunity of using the 3-month payment plan, we will make a note of it, and therefore we'll advise for example, your coordinator that you have selected this option, you will get your books, and the application of interest charges would not be applied to your account. If, however, your fee is due at the beginning of September, and you do not indicate to us that you are utilizing the 3-month payment plan, then we assume that you have not paid your fees, and therefore interest charges would be applied to your account on a monthly basis. So you would have to advise us from early at the beginning of your program. It also means that if you have not paid your fee and you have not made arrangements with us, that you would not have financial clearance. It also means that you would not get your books. So the responsibilities on you as a student to indicate to us. Also, if you are going to a financial institution or the Student Loan Bureau, you can advise us from early. We have a relationship with the Students Loan Bureau where we can tap in their information to know what status your application is. So if you come at the beginning and you say, I'm going through Students Loan Bureau, I am at stage D, for example, and we check, but you are still at A, we would know that you're at A. So we have that relationship with them, and based on where your application process is, the stage of your application process, we can decide at that time if we allow you to get your books, etc. Having had a discussion with you, of course, based on your application at Student Loan Bureau. Also, if you are going to other financial institutions like credit union or the bank or whatever, we ask you to indicate this by sending us a letter of commitment letter, which we'll put on file, and we use that to determine what facilities is afforded to you during that time. So if your company, your organization is sponsoring you or whatever, you're on a scholarship, whatever the situation is, what we ask is that you advise us from early so that we know and we can put whatever facilities we need to put in place to accommodate your smooth operation in the program to get it done. The important is to advise us. But that is it as far as payment plan is what we have currently.
Ms. Reed, before you go, a second part to Candice's question earlier about the fee. She said she was told to pay the fee this year. So that's the same person, right? So that's the same person.
You're talking about the commitment fee, right?
Right.
Okay, so because she had deferred and she may have requested that her deferral be activated into this year, she would be an active new applicant, so to speak, and therefore the same information that is going out in banner to all the students, then she would be getting the same information as she would have gotten last year that went out to the prospective students, saying that you need to pay the $20,000 as a commitment fee in order to secure your space. But if she had already paid it and deferred, she can ignore that for the time being. She just needs to know that she has proof of payment, and we'll use that to do the necessary verification.
No Okay, thanks, Ms.
Ms. Reed,
Yes.
did she, probably will have to find out, did she pay to the campus itself or to the MSBM?
Yeah, and
That can make a difference.
I said that earlier. Once she
Oh,
send us her confirmation of her payment, we can take it from there and advise her further.
hmm.
All right, thank you, Ms. Reed. So anonymous attendee asks a question. If the full-time option, there is a full-time option for the program, and if yes, what was the class schedule? But I think Nadia had responded to that earlier. And this question says, online, I'm seeing that to be accepted. Hold on a moment. I'm seeing that to be accepted. Question keeps jumping out. All right, let's go. Online, I'm seeing that to be accepted is required to have quantitative skills. Example, undergraduate quantitative course. I'm a psych undergraduate minor in management studies. Does that count as quantitative skills or course?
Yes, it does. And you will actually be doing a stats course in the program, which will be useful for the analytics course. So yes, that counts as a quantitative course, stats.
Nadia, someone wants to know in advance if they'll know in advance about the face-to-face classes, and does the program offer room and board, and how does that affect the tuition?
So yes, they will know in advance about the face-to-face classes. It will be in the handbook that will be provided before orientation. He could also, or she could also email me. I'll put my email in the chat before then if you want to know really early on, and I'll give you an idea. As for the room and board, that is something that is offered by the university, not the MSBM department. And there are websites that speaks to room and board. So you could check out the room and board. Your room and board rates will be different from what you would pay for your tuition for the program.
Okay, Shadonia is asking, what is the cost of this program?
Okay, so the prior to this year, the program fee was US $10,000. There's an application that is awaiting approval to increase the program fee by 10%. And that means it will go up to $11,000. We are still awaiting their approval, but that is the proposal up. So the tuition fee, once approved, will be $11,000 US dollars for coming up for September. And that
Mr. Reed?
amount,
Yes,
yeah.
go ahead.
And of course, that amount is paid over the life of the program. So as I indicated earlier, it can be paid at the beginning of the program, annually or per semester. The fees are quoted in US dollars. You can pay in Jamaican dollar or US dollar, whichever is more suitable for you. At the beginning of each academic year, we will advise you of the exchange rate to be used. So by August, sometime in August, we will advise you what is the exchange rate applicable for that particular semester or the academic year.
So I think, Ms. Reed, just to answer two questions which are pretty much the same, that $11,000 that you're quoting is to cover both years.
No.
Yes, it's a program fee. 11,000 is the program fee. So it's both years.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
It's not 11,000 per year?
No, it's
Both years.
11,000 for the program. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's clear, much clearer.
All right, thank you. Another question is, are the textbooks for each course provided by the institution?
I can take that one, yes. And the cost for the textbooks is already built out as part of your program fee. So you will get the books as part of your program fee.
Okay, and yes, the answer is USD $11,000. That's what the tuition is. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat. But Nadia, I'm not sure if there's anything else that you want to share about the program that persons might want to be aware of until we take the next question. Or take this one. Is the final project like a research paper or a thesis?
Okay, so the final project, it's more like a field project where you'll be working with an organization. So even last year, the students worked with a popular organization, a big company, a big local company, and the company would give problem cases or problem sets. So you would work on those problem sets in your group. So it will be real life scenarios, like real work environment scenarios that you would be coming up with solutions, marketing or data analytics solutions using the knowledge that you would have been exposed to throughout the course to give them solutions, suggestions. That is really what the final project would be about. And yes, the final project, you will be doing it in groups. So we usually 4 or 5 students in a group, and that's how you do the final project.
Nadia, another question is, what is the tech stack for the course, considering this course will enable an individual to get a data analyst job? Okay,
so it would have been great if we had some of our lecturers here. I am not sure how in-depth I can answer this question. I do know that students are exposed to language like Python and R. They also use SPSS, and there are quite a few analytics courses. There is consumer analytics, marketing analytics, and modeling. You'll also be doing business analytics, and there is a digital marketing analytics. So those will expose the students to analytics and data. Oh, and there's also a data mining course as well. So you will be exposed to a good amount of data and analytics, which should be able to help you with the data analyst jobs.
Okay, and another question regarding the field project. The organization for the field project, is this identified and each person paired with the organization by the program?
So the organization would be determined by us, by MSBM. We would contact the organization and then we would pass on the information to the students. So it's not a situation where the student would need to go and identify the organization themselves.
Nadia, just quickly, can you give some examples of any of the organizations that students have been able to work with for their projects?
We work with CEPROD a lot. We actually have a MOU with CEPROD. So we have done quite a few projects with them. We also did something with St. Mary's, you know, the one that does the banana chips. And there are some others. I think we also did one with CPJ, I'm not sure. And also tourism, the tourism sector, tourism board. So there are a few, but as I said, we have a MOU with CEPROD, so we do get a lot of our projects from them.
Thanks much. So
Just to add, Camille, hi everyone. We also have an MOU with JBDC, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. So sometimes we're able to get projects from their clients as well.
So you definitely are able to get prepared for advancement, even if you have experience, knowledge as you do walking into the course. By the time you have left, you definitely will be much more of an expert coming out of the MSc Marketing and Data Analytics. We have another question. Let's see how Oh, best you can answer this one. What's the estimated salary or return on investment from this degree?
That is a good question, but all I
Okay.
can say it would be market competitive. So the person who wrote that question, I think you would probably have to do some research on that because as you know, salaries vary depending on organization as well as job function. So really couldn't give you an estimated salary for this degree.
I don't think that
just
is
add to that. Yes, agreed with what Nadia said. And then also remember, I mean, when you have the piece of paper in your hand, you still have to sell yourself, you know, so you might go into an interview with somebody else. But in fact, part of what we pride ourselves on to, that we don't just prepare the students just for academically, but in a holistic way. So we have this gloss series so you can get information as to how to make presentations, how to manage time, those kinds of things, which are, you know, softer skills that employers often say that they want to see in their employees, not just, oh, I have a GPA of X. The other thing too, in terms of just the degree being from UWI, because these degrees they're not degrees from Mona School of Business and Management, but they're from UWI, where MSBM is the business school, but UWI is ranked among the top 1.5% universities in the world. So you're getting a degree then that is from a premium institution in that respect, and therefore it should open doors for you as well because it being from UWI. So, but part of it has to be your research as well. But the program too is ranked highly by Ed Universal, which is a ranking agency in France that ranks several of our MSc programs highly. So that's part of what is behind the degree that you have. And of course, the practical experience that you have through the field project means it's not just a theory degree. And so when you take all of that into consideration, it should open good doors for you.
And to follow on that, will there be career assistance or job placement opportunities?
So again, MSBM, as part of the wider UWI, we have access to the Office of Placement and Career. But what we do find is several times employers come to us, meaning send an email, I'm looking for an X, I'm looking for a Y. And rather than they advertise it out there fully, they come to us saying, do you have any graduates or any that you can recommend to us? So that happens several times. So we do have a student services and alumni officer, Mrs. Dawn Morgan, and she'll get this information all the time that she shares then with alumni or if it's students. But many organizations actually come to MSBM, come meaning contact us to say, we have a job, we're looking for a person with these skills. Do you have anybody you can recommend? So to that extent, yes.
Naomi asks, are there any internship or consultant opportunities in MSBM?
In MSBM, not right now, but I mean, who knows what can happen.
Could I come in on that?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, there are sometimes companies write us seeking to have our students come on internship. But part of the problem we have, because it's a part-time program and students tend to work working somewhere else, it's difficult for the fit. There was a company out of Trinidad who wrote us, you know, but we could not fill that void because our people are part-time. People are not full-time. Plus, the internship sometimes is normally done over a summer period, and the summer period would be the time when you are doing courses. Remember I said in the presentation that you don't have any summers no more.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Moore. We have another question. Can an individual with a past degree apply for this program?
Again,
Yes, you can.
okay.
You just go ahead and submit your application. It might be that you might be called in for an interview, depending on what exactly your degree, your GPA looks like. If you also have, I would also encourage you to upload your resume if you work in the marketing field, to upload your resume as well. Any other supporting documents that you have, any certifications that could help. I would say upload all of those along with the degree that you have. But yes, you can still submit your application.
Thanks, Nadia. So I think the takeaway regarding applying is even if you don't necessarily meet all the check boxes in the requirement, however, you have the experience or you have other documentation that can, say for instance, plead a case for you. Those will be taken into consideration as well. So you just share everything that you have that speaks to your experience and speaks to what your knowledge is or your background or education is with regards to being able to get involved in this course. All right, we encourage you to do that, and it will be assessed fairly among all the other applicants, and where we can make some concessions and say, you know what, this person may not necessarily meet all the requirements. However, they have these things that can kind of bolster their application. We do take that into consideration. All right. Another question. Does the undergraduate have to be marketing or, say, statistics? And how many students does this program take?
So no, your undergraduate degree doesn't necessarily have to be in marketing or statistics. You can apply. Your application will be reviewed by the necessary persons and a decision will be made. But we have taken in students who have degrees that are not in marketing or statistics. Currently, we have about 25 students for first year. So we take in students based on, the number of applicants that we get in cohort and those who have received an offer. So for the past couple of years, it's been trending at, on average, 25, right?
All right, thanks, Nadia. We have another question from Candice. What is the internship duration? I'm employed full-time.
So
There's
Nadia,
no
that's a field,
internship.
no, that's a field project, Nadia. So if you can just explain how the field project works.
No, I think the question states internship.
Yeah, but I
He
mean,
said there was no internships.
right. So
The
so
field
they just
project
explain about the
is the
field.
closest to the internship.
Okay, well,
And continue, Nadia.
I wouldn't say the field project is like an internship. The field project is actually a course, kind of a course that you have to complete. It's just not a taught course, but you need to complete it to get the credits. And that is over 12 weeks. So you do that in the final semester of your second year.
But if it is referencing, Candice, if you're referencing internship as in working with an organization, I think Mr. Moore spoke to it or alluded to it. It's not something that we have set in place. I mean, organizations will reach out to us from time to time, asking or providing this kind of opportunity. So we are not able to say specifically how long that period of time will be, and how it will be offered to facilitate, say, someone like you who is employed full-time. I hope you got an answer to your query. Is there anyone else that has a question before we wrap up? Ahead. Anonymous attendee, I wish you wrote your name, but go ahead, ask a question. So just to recap a couple of things, because we've been getting these queries. The program is administered over 24 months or 2 years. The class delivery is from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. on Sundays, but you have 2 classes. One is from 10 to 1 p.m. and the other is from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And it's offered hybrid, which is face-to-face and online. Also, the entry requirements, you should have at least a bachelor's degree in a relevant discipline with a GPA of 2.5 or higher, and the consideration may be given to mature applicants, which are those that have 10 years experience in a related field. And applicants with a GPA lower than 2.5 will be considered if, 1, they have at least 2 years working experience in marketing or a related area and have professional qualifications in a related area. And 2, they are successful at an interview conducted by MSBM. And remember, our application deadline is March 31, and you must submit all your supporting documents. So remember, we said, if you have anything that can support your case for why it is we need to accept you into this program or consider you for this program, upload them so that they can be assessed along with your application. All right, some more questions are in. Which industry would be best suited for this type of masters?
There's really no limit to the idea of data analytics. Every industry uses data. It might be customer data, sales data. It's really how do you use and leverage this data? So a hospital might have a data analyst to look at patient information, to look at trends. A supermarket might look at inventory. It's various. It matter. The idea now is that data is oil. This is what people pay for now. Facebook, etc. use our data to be able to predict. Amazon uses it to say, because you bought that green dress last week, you might like this blue pants. So it is how we leverage data in any industry. So there's no limit. That's the beauty of doing a degree like this, because of what data represents now in the world.
So some great news. Anya, you say you will start your application at last, and we made it so simple for you. You can find the link just to go right now and submit your application by looking in our chat and finding the link. There's a link there. It takes you straight to the application page. So go ahead before the night is out and submit your application. From Alicia, we had answered this question. Are classes in person or face-to-face? Yes, it's hybrid. There are going to be face-to-face classes as well as online. Candice's question, the field project will be required to complete. How long will this take out in the field if we have to be at a physical location or business? I don't think there are any specifics to this, but Nadia, you can probably respond.
Seems that people are misinterpreting what the field project is about.
Right. So you won't, yeah, so it's not a situation where you have to be at this location for any long period of time. You, based on whatever your problem set is, you might need to go in and look at the facility, and then the company would arrange for a time for you to do that. And usually it's a one-off, because I think last year, most of the groups, they only went to the site maybe once. I don't think anybody went twice. If it's twice, that's the maximum. So it's not a situation where you will be required to constantly be at the location. You might just need to go there to get additional information for you to do your project. So it's not
information and data gathering.
Right. So it's not like you need to be out in the field actively doing stuff. It's not that kind of situation.
It's meetings, etc., with the people, you know. That's how a lot of the interaction is conducted now. Zoom meetings, etc. You request information, they send, etc. But it's not like you're placed there and you have a desk and you sit there for 6 months. But the project is over a 6-month period, and there are intervals where presentations have to be made, status reports, etc. There's a supervisor from the MSBM, a faculty rep, as well as a supervisor from the company. So there's joint supervision. but a lot of the interaction takes place in meetings, Zoom meetings, etc. But in the case where you have to physically go there, then they facilitate that. But it's not like you're placed there for 6 months and can do your own work.
All right, and these students will be doing the project for 12 weeks, 3 months, not 6.
All right, thanks, Janice. Thanks, Nadia. Thanks, Mr. Moore. Another question from Theandra. Are there funding opportunities for students?
So at this time, MSBM doesn't have scholarships for this particular program, but from time to the university, UE, offers scholarship through the Office of Graduate Studies and Research. They sometimes offer scholarship for postgraduate students. So you could always look out for those opportunities when they're emailed to you.
All right, this question comes from Nash. Do I need to send a separate application form for this program, as I have already submitted one and stated my 2 choices in the application form?
Well, as long as one of your 2 choices is the MSc in Marketing and Data Analytics, then I think you're covered.
But if not?
But if not, then yes, you would need to submit an application specifically for the program.
Okay, so great. It seems we've answered Candice's questions very clearly. Glad for that. I saw a question earlier about what the application deadline is, reminding you that it is the 31st of March. So you have a whole month left to submit your applications, and you don't have to wait until the last minute. Get your documents together and just spend a little bit of time and just make sure you submit your application. All right. We want to thank you for all of the questions. They were great. And we hope that we've covered everything that you wanted to know. And just before we close out, 2 things. You can check the chat to make sure that you get all the access to whatever additional information you need, such as our application guide, our tuition fees, our FAQs, as well as the link to apply now. Nadia has already also placed her email address there in the chat for persons who have additional questions or who may have asked something earlier and she was inviting them to email her. Then we have something from online. Oh, yes, we have to promote an upcoming session, but just on your screen there, you're gonna see some things happening. Our next Masters Talk will take place next week, Wednesday, and it will be covering 2 of our graduate programs, the MSc Computer-Based Management Information Systems and the MSc in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. So if you know anyone that is interested in either of those 2 courses, tell them to go onto MSBM's website and register for the next session that's coming up next week. They'll get the link just like you did when you registered for this one, and they'll be able to also speak to faculty members who are able to answer their questions and find out more about those courses. Also coming up, if you're on the western side of the island, or you know anyone on the western side of the island, we invite you to our western campus in Montego Bay on Sunday, March 10 for the graduate programs information session. So this one is a little bit more extensive. We had a Kingston edition in January. Now we head on over to Montego Bay on March 10. This is where we will talk about not just the program you heard about today, but all the other programs. You will hear a little bit of information about those, as well as overall about the Mona School of Business and Management, our graduate programs, and what we have to offer as an institution in terms of our facilities and in terms of just basically everything that we can help you in order to advance your career and advance yourself, whether it is that even if you think about going into entrepreneurship, you're going to be armed with so many skills and so much knowledge that you're able to make an impact, whether you're within an organization or going it out on your own. You can see the registration link for that is at bit.ly/MSBM Info Session 2024. It's also available on our website. So once you go on our website, you will definitely go down to our upcoming events and you should see it there. Once you click on it, it takes you straight to the registration page. And another Masters Talk that will be coming up on the 13th of March will be the MSc Corporate Finance and the MSc Enterprise Risk Management. So again, if you know anyone that might be interested in these courses, or even if you are interested in these courses, you can go onto our website and register for any one of these sessions for Masters Talk or the graduate programs. And we will be happy to see you and welcome you and deal with all of the issues and the questions that you have for us when you log in. I want to say thank you so much once again for taking the time out to be here with us this evening. I hope that you found it to be informative, and it actually, if you were kind of doubtful or not sure if this is something you want to do, that we actually made the choice easy for you and you have made the decision to join us at MSBM. And we look forward to seeing you when it gets to September in 2024 here. And, you know, it's all great and all up from here, because once you are complete with your MSc in Marketing and Data Analytics course, I can guarantee you, people will be wanting you to come and work. So you're talking about which industry you can be in. Every industry needs information or has to assess or analyze their data, whatever it is. So whether it is you're in retail, banking and finance, government, it doesn't matter where you are, there is a need for someone who have the skills and the training that you will get coming out of this program. I want to thank my MSBM team for joining us this evening, for being able to facilitate these questions, for answering Ms. Reed, Ms. Henlin, Nadia, Mr. Moore, as well as the rest of the IT team and the marketing team and other supporting staff members. So until we have our next Masters Talk next week, Wednesday, I am Camille Sinclair, the marketing coordinator for MSBM, and I wish for you a great rest of your evening. All right, bye-bye.